Welcome everybody to Severe Weather Update. It is Thursday, March the 2nd, 2023, and I'm doing a video because of a moderate or 4 out of 5 threat of severe weather in the North Texas, southwestern Arkansas, and the very northwestern tip of Louisiana, starting maybe around 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon Central Time and going through late this evening and into tonight. So let's get right to it. If you look at the day one convective outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, you will see the areas shaded in red with that 4 out of 5 risk, that moderate risk. This includes the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So a lot of times severe weather affects many rural areas here in the Midwest, but today the center of the moderate threat is Dallas-Fort Worth, a major metropolitan center in this area. So let's look at the 3 different categories of severe weather that this Storm Prediction Center focuses on. The first is tornadoes, and it has a 10% risk of a tornado of EF2 or greater developing and touching down within any 25-mile spot of this large yellow shaded area, which includes almost all of Arkansas. So that goes into the lesser severe weather threats on the main graphic that I showed you. So if you're anywhere in Arkansas, you have pretty much the same threat as if you're in northern Texas of potentially seeing a tornado this afternoon and into tonight, probably more in the Arkansas area as the day moves forward. The greater threat, though, I think, as to why there is a moderate designation today is because of the wind threat. 45% chance, as you can see, in northern Texas and southwestern Arkansas, and then the hail threat. I'm going to read you what the Storm Prediction Center says about hail, but the northern portions of Texas, but including the Dallas-Fort Worth area, is covered by the largest 45% threat of 1-inch diameter hail or larger within any 25 miles of a point. 1-inch hail is very large. The Storm Prediction Center's summary says severe thunderstorms with very large hail to the size of baseballs, baseball-size hail, significant thunderstorm gusts to 75 miles an hour, and a couple of strong tornadoes are likely from North Texas into the ArkLaTex this afternoon through tonight. So I think they believe the worst of this severe weather is going to be the hail, as well as potentially 75-mile-an-hour wind gusts. But the hail seems to be the largest threat as to why they made it a red 4 out of 5. The tornado threat is there, but this is not expected to be a large, wide-scale tornado outbreak. But possibly a large, wide-scale hail outbreak is forecast for this afternoon. So let's go and look a little closer at the cities covered by the red area, which is where the biggest hail threat is. And you can see it includes Dallas-Fort Worth, Sherman, Paris, Cleburne, Tyler, Texarkana. So those are the cities that they've listed on this map. I'm not extremely familiar with northern Texas, but obviously if you live in this area, you know whether you're in this area, you know whether you're near Dallas-Fort Worth or any of these regions. So be on the lookout. Starting at around 2 o'clock Central Time, what is it, 12:53 p.m. Central right now when I'm making the video. So in an hour or so from now, the storms are going to start to develop. Let's look at the HRRR model, which has about the best radar forecast model that I see. And this is courtesy of Pivotal Weather. Go to their website. Great information if you like looking at weather models. But I'm going to start at 19Z, which I believe is about 1 p.m. Central Time. And we're going to go from there. So we start at 1, there's not much going on. By about 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time, you can see in north central Texas, this is far to the west of Dallas-Fort Worth, but the storms start to develop. So I'm just going to count this through, and you can look at the map and see if you're in this region of Texas and then in Arkansas, when to expect the severe weather. You know, obviously give this like an hour of error time here. So if I say 2 and it comes at 1, that's within an hour or so of a range of error. But this radar is very accurate, and it's been accurate in the past, so I use it every time. But of course, it can't predict the future 100%. But it does give you an idea of the timing of when the severe weather will be in your area. So again, we go 20Z, 21Z, I think is 3 p.m. Central. 4 p.m. Central. Let's make sure of this. I have a little chart that converts it. 4 p.m. is 22, that's right. 5 p.m. Central, you can really see things firing up. 6 p.m. Central is when it starts to turn into a more quasi-convective line and approaching the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Okay, 01Z is 7 p.m., really hammering the Dallas-Fort Worth area at this time, as well as parts of Oklahoma. 8 p.m. is 02Z, 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m. Really, things are firing up in central Arkansas at that time. 2 a.m. again, still in Arkansas, but the threat in Texas is mostly over. And then so on and so forth. You can see it lifts up into the Arkansas and the Missouri area, and I'm sure they'll do an updated convective outlook later on to cover some of those areas, but I don't think it's going to be in the middle of the night. I don't think the severe weather threat will be as great, although it's going to be a stormy night in Arkansas, Missouri, etc., and in Oklahoma, as you can see. I think the worst of the severe weather will be over at that time. Certainly the severe threat in Texas will have ended. So that's about all I have. I also have the NATO cast. I really love this. This is NATO at NATO cast on Twitter. Again, today I don't think is going to be a large tornado outbreak, but there is a 10% chance in that shaded area of yellow, which is very similar to what the Storm Prediction Center shows as far as the probability of an EF2 tornado or greater touching down within any 25-mile area. So although there's not going to be a widespread tornado outbreak, even if there are 1 or 2 strong tornadoes, if they happen to hit your area and you're within this area, it's going to cause damage. So you never know. This is the time of year where tornadoes start firing up. Got a lot of warm, moist air coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. Still have cold enough air coming from the north to mix with it, and a lot of instability, cape in the atmosphere, and all kinds of stuff I don't understand, but the meteorologists have predicted this is going to be a large-scale wind and hail event with the possibility of some tornadoes. That's my update. Hope this helps you. Share this message if you know anybody in this area that just doesn't pay attention to news or weather. Make sure you have your NOAA weather radio handy and or live streams on the internet sources, as well as TV or radio. Obviously, if you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you're set. All kinds of news media there. You know, the 4 major news networks are there. But some of these rural areas don't get as much coverage, and that's why internet sources are very useful to them. And then people who just don't want to watch the news anymore, which is understandable. So anyway, hope all is well. Stay safe this afternoon, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Like this video if you can. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you haven't. And have a great afternoon. Stay safe. Thank you very much, everybody.